Welcome, everyone, to the Cloud Native Live, where we dive into code and behind Cloud Native. My name is Henrik Rexed. I am a CNCF ambassador and a Cloud Native advocate working at Dynatrace, and I will be your host for today's live stream. So, for those who've never been connected to the CNCF, this Cloud Native Live, it happens every week. We bring different presenters to showcase how to work with cloud native technologies. They build things, they show things, they go through a solution and they explain things for us. And of course, for me, it's going to be the excuse to learn things. And I'm going to drop you my questions. So if you have any questions, by the way, it will be the right moment to just and interact with us with the live stream. So if you're connected, you may come from LinkedIn or you may come from YouTube. And so if you want to interact with us, just drop a comment and we will try to get all your questions. Before we start, I would just remind that this live stream is an official live stream from CNCF, which is subject to the CNCF code of conduct. So if you want to drop a questions or if you want to interact with us tonight, please do not add anything in the chat or questions that could violate the code of conduct. So please be respectful to all of the participants, to the speakers, to your host as well. So be gentle. We are here to learn and have fun. So that's the spirits of today's live stream. If you're connected, by the way, so I'm connected from Marseille, France. So let us know where you're connected from. That will be a good start. So say hi and tell me where you're coming from, and I will be very excited to get some details about you. So today hi Paul. Oh, hey Paul, good to see you. Very a good friend of ours, who's also an ambassador, I think. And so today we are going to have a specific topic, and I'm very excited about it because I've seen that project and I've never had the chance to look at it deeply. So I think today it's the great moment to learn about this. So we're going to talk about Scoreboard, and this session will be presented and leaded by a good friend of mine, so Sébastien Blanc. So hi, Sébastien, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good. So where are you connected now?
I'm here in Valoris, which is not so far from you, though it's also in the south east of France, near Nice. And I've been studying Marseille, so I know Marseille really well as well.
So you can see that today live stream is 100% sponsored by the French community. So if you're French and you're connected, say hi or speak us to French. It will be funny to hear about you. Sebastian, so you're working at Port and you're a DevRel engineer working at Port.
Yes.
And today you want to talk about a specific product. The scorecard. So what is it?
The OSSF Scorecard. So from the open source foundation, open source security foundation, they made a really nice open source project to have scorecards about any security leakage. So there's a word in English, vulnerability, that I really struggle to say as a Frenchman. I don't know about you. I've been training today to say the word, and I could not even say it in French at the end, vulnerabilité. So yeah. So anyway, when you have leaks or potential surface attacks in your software supply chain, well, that's a project that will help you a lot. And I will present you today what it is, how you can use it, and of course we will demo it with the 3 different ways of using it: the CLI, the GitHub Actions, and the REST interface. So that's it. Yeah.
So then I will share your screen and I will put my self available. If you have any questions, let me know if I can interrupt you.
Yeah.
I will try to look at the chat, and if there are any incoming questions about the topic that you're currently covering, I will try to ask that question if you don't mind. Otherwise, if you prefer, I can ask it at the end later on.
I really don't mind being interrupted. Actually, I prefer that than I will also answer the question at the end, but feel free to interrupt me at any moment.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome. So then I'll leave you the stage,
Okay.
and I'll put
Awesome.
myself as a little person on the side, and I'll let you lead that stream.
Okay, okay. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for attending this stream. It's always an honor to be invited on the Cloud Native live stream channel. And as I told in the intro, I will be talking today about the OSSF scorecards. Okay, a few words about myself, even if you heard it already. But so my name is Sebastian Blanc. I'm half French, half Dutch. That's why I might have this weird accent. And I'm based in the south of France. I'm a Java developer. I'm still a Java developer, but my job currently is to make developers happy. That's what developer advocates do. And currently, I'm a developer relation engineer at Port, which is um, not an identity provider. I will explain you where I do the mistake. In an internal developer portal, and the abbreviation is IDP. And for a long time, I've been working for the Keycloud project, which was also an IDP for identity provider. And then platform engineering came, and IDP was identity internal developer platform. And now I'm working for an internal developer portal. That's why it gets a bit mixed in my head. Beside that, in my life, what I like to do is playing the game Half-Life, best game ever. And I like cats. I have 5 cats. And yeah, they're all outside because last time I did a stream, one of my cats jumped on the keyboard, of course, and closed a lot of things. It was quite a funny stream to do. Anyway, let's talk about security. Yay. Okay, so I'm just a full disclosure, I'm not a security expert, but that doesn't matter. You don't need to be a security expert to use this tool, and that's the great thing. Um, we will quickly see why your software supply chain is fragile, and then we will present the tool that can help us mitigate all of this. We will see how to use it, and finally we will make the connection. And hey, maybe you are into platform engineering. How can we integrate that into our platform engineering strategy? Okay, let's go through some of the famous breaches that happened the last year in software supply chains. So I mentioned 2 here. First one was for CodeCov, which is a code recovery tool, but they had a software supply chain. And I think, if I recall it correctly, there was they found a leakage in the upload script, so a bash script. And by doing that, they were able to retrieve all your GitLab credentials because they were using GitLab. So every time something was uploaded, all the credentials were sent to an attacker. And yeah, so really, really bad thing. Another one is Starbucks. So that happened not so long ago. I think it was in November. It was also an attack on their supply chain, but the interesting fact here, it was more and more, and we can see that, you can probably see that in your daily life. We are consuming more and more SaaS products, okay, as a user, as a developer, as a manager, but also our supply chains are also consuming SaaS services inside the supply chain. And one of the supplier, he also had uh, um, uh, he had been attacked, okay, and because of that, Starbucks was completely down. They could not even sell any coffee. Everything was down, and it was even worse than the CodeCov, because the CodeCov, the credentials were stolen, but not sure what they did with it. Same thing with the Starbucks, but it was a ransomware, so they were asking for money. Otherwise, they will make available all the credentials. Okay, so that really happened in the few last months. And a really famous one, this one is, so I think they could make a Netflix series of this one, the XZ backdoor, because there's so much social engineering involved, and it took 2 years or 3 years for the attack to happen. First of all, it was a contributor to the XI project. So you know the unzipping utility that is used in every Linux distribution. And someone started to join the community. He gained the trust, from the core members, and at one point he was able to also commit, and one of those commits was a backdoor. Okay, but he didn't did anything into a few years, 1 year later, and then he started to exploit this backdoor. Again, go find some information about it. If you speak French, my friend Olivier Poncet, he has an excellent talk on that called Anatomie d'une faille. You can find it on YouTube because I think, yeah, yesterday or today, DevOps France made available all the videos and they're there. So even on YouTube, watching in French, put the subtitles. He does a really good job in explaining exactly what happened there. Okay.
And it will be a good excuse to learn French, I guess, also.
Oh yeah, exactly. um, anyway, all of this to say to you that yeah, there can be vulnerabilities everywhere in your IT. Okay, there are tools to do specific stuff, like you can use Sneak to scan your containers. You can use Wiz for some cloud specific stuff. But the problem is that they can be spread all over your supply chain, and it's pretty hard to get an overview and to bring into the picture or the potential areas that are at risk. Okay, and look at this statistic. Pretty impressive stuff. So 84% of all code bases have at least one vulnerability. 84%. Imagine how much, with an average of 158 per code base. That is just crazy when you think about it. And the crazier is the second part is, hey, the majority has been in your code for 2 years. And the worst part is those vulnerabilities, everybody knows about it. It has been documented, it has been fixed, or there has been a best practice for that. Because, yeah, it's not always only a matter of code. It can also be just a back practice or small bad practices that open a backdoor for your attackers. Okay, so yeah, it concerns everyone. How can we, as engineer, as platform engineer, or as DevOps, SRE, put into the picture all of those risks? It would be nice if we could have a tool that you can point to any project, and let's focus today on open source projects. And that tool knows about all the leakage, all the vulnerabilities, about all the bad practices, and it could give you a score for each of those policies. Okay, and oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about the slide. Just to remind you that it can be spread all over your software supply chain here. Okay, so it can happen everywhere from your code until the production. Okay, so again, let me say, how can I have a tool that can scan most of the stuff? Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to rely only on this tool. This tool comes as complement of all the good security practices that you need to have, starting by the entry point of your security, which is the authentication. That's a topic that I really like since the time I worked at Keycloak. Don't implement your own authorization authentication system, please. Even if you think you're smart, no, don't do it. Use some SaaS provider, Okta or something like that, or if you want on-premise, choose something like Keycloak. And even if you choose this project, configure it with caution, okay? Anyway, let's talk about a tool that will help us a lot. Meet the OSSF Scorecard. So OSSF means Open Source Security Foundation, and they created a project called the Scorecard, where they have a whole collection of code vulnerabilities, about your supply chain, about your workflows, your GitHub Action flows. And for each of those areas, they will assess based on your code base, and they will give you a score. Okay. A big risk, 10, okay, and a low risk to 0. Okay. And yeah, it's basically, it's that easy. Okay, and we will see a bit how to use it. But to give you an example of the checks that that the scorecard project can do, like binary artifact, he will check that in your GitHub repo you are not uploading any binary in your source folder. Okay, you can have the releases. GitHub can manage that, but don't upload, if you're a Java developer, don't upload jars into your source code. Dangerous workflow. He knows some bad patterns that you could use inside your GitHub action. He will able to detect that, and he will mention that when assessing this. SBOM, so you can see there are also smaller checks. So he can say check if you have a software bill of material, really important to fix the versions, and yeah, you know what an SBOM is. Security policy, he will just check if you have a file called security.md, and he will search for some keywords inside the text file. And based on that, he can give you a score. That's maybe something we can do in live demo later. Code review determines if a human code review before pull request. That's gonna be funny with all those AA agents that also start reviewing your pull request. Token permissions. When you will be using a lot of tokens, you will also be able to see if it's a fine-grained token or a token which is wide open, and if it's stolen, anyone can do what they want with this token. Okay, so these are just here 6 checks, but there are way more. If you go on the, let me see, if you go on the website, and the QR code was there not long ago. There it is again. Thank you. The checks. So you can see here all the checks, and for all the checks, you can just click on it, and it will bring you to the GitHub repo, so the link from the QR code, and here you get a bit more explanation about each of those checks. Okay, and since it's an open source project, I haven't checked that, but I imagine that you can do that you can contribute to this project, and that you can let me see, maybe in pull request code. Yeah. So probably people can also suggest new checks. That's the power of open source. Okay. Sorry, let me go back here. And I think we are already at demo time. I'm not really a slide guy. I'm more a demo kind of person. Anyway, how can you use it? Because it's really important. I told you about this tool. There are 3 ways of using that. The first one is more as a discovery and to play with it, and we will start with that. Is the CLI. They offer you a CLI, and you type scorecard, and you point to any repo, and it will give you back a report for all the checks. Okay. If you want to introduce that into your CI/CD chain, so the best way of doing that is by using the GitHub action that they provide. There's a few settings to enable. We can go over that as well. But there, every time that you will push a commit, okay, it will run all those checks, and it will or publish those files publicly or put them somewhere in your repo. And the last part is using the REST API. And this is really interesting if you want to start integrating those scorecards into your platform. And I will show you an example of how you can integrate that into an internal developer portal. And I let you guess which one it will be. Pretty important stuff. The REST API only works for already published results. So using the GitHub action, that will publish results somewhere, and then you can access it to the REST API. So with the REST API, you cannot just point to any repo, which is possible with the CLI. So let's start with the CLI. Okay, so let me go back here, and if we just go here using the CLI, it's pretty easy. So if you are on a Mac, you can just do a brew install. Docker, you can run it as a Docker container directly, and Nix. That's probably some I don't even know what Nix is. So anyway, what you can see here, I need to have an access token. So to an access token to GitHub. So for that, you go to your GitHub profile, you go to the developer settings, and you create a personal access token. And since a few months now, you can really create fine-grained paths. I don't know if we say it, Pat. Well, personal access token. Please use those rather than the old one that are by default widely open. Okay, so that's what I did. I installed the tool, and if I go here, I already set my GitHub token here. I won't show it. That it will probably appear when I go through my history, but I will deactivate it later. And I should have scorecard here. Okay, so it's there, and from there it gives me some options. But basically, it's pretty easy to use. I can do scorecard, and since I'm lazy, let me go through my history. And here you do dash repo, and you point to any repo that you want. For this example here, I pointed to one. Well, it's probably my favorite project from the CNCF, from the Cube ecosystem, which is Knative. So if I'm not here to speak about Knative, you could probably spot there I have a T-shirt from Knative that I managed to get at KubeCon London. I'm so happy. But anyway, it's doing serverless in a agnostic way on Kubernetes. Please try to play with it. Anyway, let's point to this project and to the serving part, because there's also an eventing part. And there we go. Look at this. He's starting the CI test, the licenses. So these are all of those are checks. And again, if you're wondering what it is exactly, you just go over there to the website and you check the checks. Okay, so CI test, for instance, risk low. So he will check if you run tests before pull requests are merged. Yeah, testing is important. I often say as a joke, testing is doubting, but please test your stuff. Oh, there we go. Look, and it gave me a pretty nice report. Okay, let's start with here. Binary artifacts, no binary found in the repo. So I got the maximum score. Okay, I just realized here, if I go back to my slides, and I did it completely wrong here, and I think I took a picture. It's the opposite here. Critical risk, it's the opposite. The score. The lowest the score is, the higher the risk is. Yeah, not sure. And pretty sure I took that from their website. Anyway, no binary artifacts, so I got a 10 on 10. Branch protection. So some checks are not enabled depending, yeah, look at this. By my personal token, so I didn't give access to anything. So this one is a check that he was not able to do. Here, look, CI test. It's 30 out of the 30 merge PR have CI test. Cool. Let's take a one of CII best practices, 2 on 10. That's not so good. But every time you get a link to what happened exactly, code review. So the score is pretty good here. Okay, dependency not pinned by hash. Okay, that's probably something quite easy to fix. Token permission, detecting different workflows token with excessive permission. Ooh, that's dangerous. So that's maybe something that they should really look at. Anyway, that is the power of Scorecard. You see, in a few seconds, I was able to get all those results. I should probably also be able to, if I do that again, where I did my screen disappear. Oh, there we are. I could, come on. Let me just go back here. Okay. I think I can also pass a format. So here I point to another project, okay, from my own, from me. And that's the project you will also see for the GitHub action. It's an open source project from the French AXA company. A really nice project, Daily Clean, to clean up your pods that are not used, your nodes that are not used. Nice project. If you haven't seen it, again, it's not the scope of this project, of this live stream, but Daily Clean is a nice open source project. And here I do the same, but I say to them, hey, I want the format JSON. Okay, so that's another way of getting data. Maybe you can integrate the CLI tool in your CI tool. Okay, that's a practice that we see sometimes in GitHub Actions, even if I prefer the REST approach. But anyway, we got here, and I probably get a lower score. Let me see. The score is 3.2. Okay.
A question. I have a small question about. You said there's a format, so you have the text. I mean, the pipe text format that has been used, and then JSON. Do you know if they have the type of output they can produce with the CLI?
We can check that together. Scorecard. Let's see. Format. Default JSON probe. So probe is probably how do they call it? Prometheus style or something like that. I don't know. We can check.
Yeah.
I'm curious now. I want to see what probe is because I have no idea. But let's see what happens then. And that gives me the opportunity to drink some water.
And then you. So here you are the CLI. Okay, so it's
What
what is that format?
What is this? What is this?
It's like a mixed JSON. Oh wait.
Yeah, if someone knows in the
Yeah, if someone knows what is the probe format, it would be very interesting to know.
We will all learn something.
Yeah, because it seems to be very like a JSON,
but really compact. And
yeah.
Now, and I'm sure I'm still in the one. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
And other questions. So when you run it, you get the default rules that coming from the CLI. If anyone wants to say, oh, I want to disable certain rules for some reasons, I don't know, because or add
certain checks. Yeah.
or add custom rules. How can I guess the CLI comes with a predefined rule files. Is there like a way of customizing that rule file somewhere?
Yes, yeah. So I never played it, but I think I saw it here. Probes. So probes. That's probably probes to run. I think what they mean here by probes are the checks. So here you can comma separated all the checks that you would like to have. But I'm not sure if you can limit that on the. I don't. You mean maybe not the user, but the people providing hosting that they don't want to provide all the checks or
Or for example, I was thinking you mentioned security policies, and I was thinking there's different security policies in different formats. It could be if you use OPA, for example, or if you use Kyverno, maybe the definition is different. I don't know if they have a predefined sets, so to customize with a specific policy engine.
Oh no, it's the first. It's the first.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's the check flag. Yeah. And here say by default. I think by default that's the one they run. But that's something that you could then abstract away for your users by, I don't know, maybe creating another CLI tool, or if it's hidden in your GitHub action there, you make sure that you only run the checks that you want to run. So that's the CLI. So play with it, install it. It's pretty easy to. It's funny to point to any project. You can do it with your own project and get scared, or to really famous. I could have run it against the Kubernetes project. I'm really curious what will happen. What will happen there? Anyway, let me go back here to the. We don't need to go back to the slides, because the other way of using it is using a GitHub Actions. Okay, don't think they have support yet for GitLab CI pipelines, which is maybe someone needs to contribute. But anyway, it's pretty simple to install. Okay, if I go here to install the action, just bring me back to the documentation here, and the only thing you have to do here, if you go on any of your repos, is going to the security tab. Okay, and then you go to code scanning, and you do add tool, and then you can search for Explorer workflows, and there you just look for OSSF, and the OSSF scorecard will appear, and then you are good to go. Okay, so if I go to my repo, and hopefully I'm connected, and I have a cat that is trying to enter my, okay, no, I'm a wrong profile. I can hear a cat banging with his head against my door because he wants to join, but I won't let him in. I have to be strong. Let me go to my organization, the one we're going to use. Let me go to this one. Okay, I got so 2 repos, the one that we win the stuff against. So if I go here and I go to security, I should have here in code scanning, code scanning tools. And here you can see code. Why don't I have it here? I should see it here. Hopefully it's still there. Otherwise, we will see what happened when I will push the stuff. But if I go to another repo, that's interesting stuff. You know what? I'm just a bit scared. So let's do add tool, and let's go for OSSF. OSSF found and scorecards configure. Oh no, configure. So it means it's there. Okay, cool. I get a bit scared because it didn't appear. And if I go to another one, so the other repo, which is also an open source project from AXA. I use this repo to do a demonstration, a demo for them. Security, code scanning. Okay. Oh yeah, here you can see I don't have any code scanning. Okay, so this one is not configured. Let's go back to our other repo and show you what happened once you enable that. Okay, you just have to, there will be a new workflow file in your repo. So if I go there and get up workflows, those 3 here were by default from the forked project. Okay, and I got here a scorecard.yaml. And basically, there's lots of, you can use the defaults if you want. Here you have the schedule when you want to be running, and one important thing here is the latest line. If you can see it, publish results. Here I set it to true, and that means it will push somewhere on the OSSF Foundation. Not sure where exactly, but by doing that, later on I will be able to retrieve it using the REST API. Okay, so we can try. Let's try it. So basically, I don't have here a security.md file. So, and I was not planning to do that, but it's fun. Let's add a file, create a new file. Let's name it security.md, and the content, you can do, you know what? Generate security.md file for me. So, okay, I copy that. Sometimes AI is nice. Okay, let's see. Let's see if, oh, maybe I was a bit too fast. Yeah, let me copy that again. Okay. Okay, there we go. Before we commit it and that we launch the whole thing, let's make sure that I had a 0 on that. So if I do my scorecard, or maybe I can do a curl. No, let's do a scorecard on this repo, and let's do it the normal format. Okay, let's just make sure. Oh, I could have said only the security policy. We could have tried this check that we just discovered before, instead of having everything run. But for the security policy, you should give me a score of 0. There we go, 0, because there's no security file. So let's see if it works. Let me commit this YOLO, okay, because I directly commit on the main branch. And if everything goes as planned, and I go here to my actions, I should have here some workflows that start running. Okay, it's getting queued, of course, because it's probably busy on the GitHub site. But in a few minutes, seconds, hopefully, I should be able to see if my scorecard got updated. So we can see here what is happening. So it's running the analyzers. Cool. Determines. So, oh, look, binary artifact. Can I see my score here? Oh, let's search for security directly here. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of security stuff. It's a security project. Security policy. Security policy. He doesn't find it. Okay, let's see. But it's green, so it means it's done. So hopefully now, if I go back to my CLI line, and again, I was not planning to show you that, but let's see. And again, I forgot to pass only the flag, so we have to wait. But that gives me the opportunity to drink some water. And if anyone has questions, please don't be shy or just say hello in the chat. I love when the chats are interactive. That remembers the time of COVID, where we all became YouTubers, and I really saw communities getting built into chats. That was so nice. That's one thing I'm missing. I love to be at conferences, but live streams and seeing people coming back in chats and having chats talking about the weather in the chat, that is the sign, hey, there's a community starting there. Let me see. Don't disappoint me, tool. Code review. Why don't I see it now? Pinterest. Security policy. Look at this. 10 on 10. Now and thank you, ChatGPT, for generating for me also then.
But I don't. Maybe the content was not super accurate, but on this MD file. But at least you have it.
Yeah, exactly. There was probably. Oh, I remove it. Or there we go. I think he's only checking for some keywords, and depending on the number of keywords, it gives you the score. I think it's something like that. But anyway, you can see that my GitHub action is working. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. And again, what to do with the report that has been created? You can ask him to put it somewhere in your repo, probably as a release, something like that. But I also told them that now it's available as a REST resource. And I can just access it. And I'm trying to find back. So I will just 1 second. I need to search for the right URL. Oh no, you know what? I think I'm smart, and I put it on the repo. If I go back here, I think I created a badge. There we go. Open scorecard, yes. And if I click there, clean, yeah. Oh, I got a report here. Okay, and probably if I curl that, no, that's not the right URL to curl, but we can try. But just to prove you that it's exposed as a REST service, let's see if that works. No, that's not the correct one, but believe me, we will. It works. Having this available as a REST resource, that means several things. That means that you will be able to integrate that in any tool, in any portal that you are using. And it's really nice because now you can get this report, link it to a GitHub repo, but also maybe to, I don't know, to a broader project, to a team, to anything. It really depends how you modeled your platform domain model. But that is a perfectly use case to be integrated. Scorecards are really popular. Here we're speaking about security scorecard, but you have a lot of other kind of scorecards per project. It could be, hey, do I have any pull requests open more than 30 days? Then that give me a low scorecard. Do I have a README? Simple things like that. You can imagine any scorecard that you want. So scorecard is something, that managers really love, but it gives you, it's a really nice way of just giving you an overview, and it doesn't mean that you immediately have to fix something, but it gives you an indication. Okay, if your score is pretty low, but this check is also pretty low risk, and you have some other urgent things to do, you can wait for later. If you have a 1 on a critical issue, okay, then you ask your security team or your developers to fix it immediately. So it's really nice to have this integrated and have it somewhere. So where can you push that?
I was going
Um,
to ask that. I
yeah.
was going to ask that.
Where? Okay. You could push that into your internal developer portal that you built yourself. So basically, there are three types of internal developer portals. The one that you built yourself, and that's really something that I see from conferences. I've been speaking to a lot of people, or you build it yourself. Okay, dangerous, but especially if the people that are creating the portal leave the company, and that happens a lot. You can rely on the really good open source project called Backstage. Okay, Backstage is a framework to build portals. It's not a full-blown portal. You will have to build your portal around it and to manage it. Okay. I see a lot of companies having great success with that. Other companies struggling a bit, but yeah, it's a totally valid option. And the third option is going for a SaaS vendor that provides you all full-blown portals. And that's where I'm working on. So that's what Port is. I'm not here to push Port, but I just took that as an example. So your internal developer portal, in this case, we will be using Port. Okay, give it a try. Port.io. You can create a free account. No credit card ask anyway. And the concept is that you remember I told you you create your. Oh, that's my colleague, Matt. I told you when we talk about platform engineering, it's really important that you design your domain model of your platform. Okay, I have pretty strong opinions on that. I think it should live in your Kubernetes cluster because Kubernetes should be your base platform and it should be CRDs. Okay, but there are things that we can discuss. Anyway, in Port, there's a great way to design that, and we have this concept of blueprints. Okay, so here I have some blueprints. I have a Kubernetes workload that is connected um, to a namespace, but I could connect that to a GitHub repo. Things that don't belong together, I'm able to bring them together here in this portal, and that's what I did. So I created just something called OSSF check. Okay, there it is. And it's pretty basic. It has a score and a reason. Okay, and I connected that to another repo that is called another blueprint, which is called a repository. It's a GitHub repository. And my repo can have one or more checks. Okay, it's a one to many. And that's it. And then I just need to write an exporter to export the data to Port, because Port doesn't make any inbound connections, so the data has to be pushed to Port. I did that. We won't go through the code because it's not, but I can probably, just because I love to show some code as well. So
I would be interested to see if so you're doing like a calling the results. That was a JSON
oh
content.
yeah. So basically, it's Java code, huh? But basically, here is a Java class representing a scorecard report. I have probably another class that represents just one check. Then I have a scorecard service. Oh, that is it. It's API. That's scorecard dev. That's the URL. Okay, so we can use this URL. So that is just a REST client that I have. But if I do my curl again here against this, it should oh, that won't work. If I do a curl, I think by default it should return JSON to me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's basically the report that we saw. Just by hitting this URL, I will be able to get all the results. Okay, I convert that. Quarkus convert that to a scorecard report object, and this object I push it to Port. Okay, and then in Port, if we go quickly back to Port, and now I get lost in my windows. There we go. If I go to my data sources, I should have. So here you can see I have something to ingest GitHub, but I could have a lot of different stuff. So this is my custom integration, and here we don't care about those checks. I just do a custom mapper. I can map any data that comes in. I can map that to the blueprint that I just showed you. Okay, and just by doing that, I will be able to retrieve my scorecard. So let's see how it goes. So just to remind you, an internal developer portal is there to ingest data, aggregate it, and then from there you can create service catalogs, self-service actions. Today I will just show you the catalog part. So if I go here to my repos, I told them just to ingest the repos from my organization. That's an account that I created yesterday, and you can see I got the daily clean here. Just some few stuff that I can show you here. Depending on what you ingest, you can show a lot of things here. Small things, we embed the README. Small thing, but it's it's a tab less to have open. Um, and look at this. There's something called OSSF checks. Wow, what could that be? So I just go there, and here you can see I get all my checks here. So if we go to the that's a that's an interesting. Oh, I know why. Because look, let's fix that right now because it's probably pulling the data. I don't know the default here. I can tell them, hey, could you please sync? Why don't you want to sync? Test mapping, yeah. Okay. Okay. Why can I not save here? Because I didn't change anything and I have to wait.
I think
Ooh, that's something I need to tell my product team then.
that's the demo effect, I guess, also.
Also, yeah.
I was wondering because you show that with the JSON file and everything. So where you're basically collecting it and you're parsing it with some extensions on port. But it could be great. I mean, I was thinking, oh, it would be great to have open telemetry events. I mean, logs. At the end, you can have there's a schema for events that could be produced from either the CLI
Yeah.
and expose it to an endpoint. That would be useful. So then we have a common format for the score produced. That would be interesting.
Oh, that will be great. Yeah, a bit like we have the cloud events, but
Yeah.
for yeah. It could be a cloud event as well, maybe.
Or no, there's even the CD events, the continuous delivery events
Oh yeah, okay.
as well.
That's that could be interesting. Yeah, I like that. But anyway, yeah, it should. Hopefully, it will resync at one point because yeah, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But it's just to show you that you can really easily integrate it here. And if we go back here to my repos, what you also could, you saw it already, but you can add any widget. So you can I just added here a widget that will compute for me the average score. Okay, so in one view, I go to my repo and I could put an alert on if it go below this number, please ping someone on Slack or please I don't know anything that you want. Yeah, that is more or less what I wanted to show. I don't know if you have other questions.
I think you covered pretty well. So at the end, if we summarize, scorecard checks a lot of different things within our environments and in our repo. You can either use it with a CLI, with a GitHub action,
Yeah,
and then it published like a web page that you mentioned here, just you saw, which is
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
nice.
Yeah.
And or you can have the similar where you can get just the JSON that is used behind the scenes. To then, of course, like you showed us to digest the data into a IDP, but we can imagine different way of
Exactly.
doing it.
Yes.
But yeah, makes a lot of sense. If you so it's we are about 12 minutes left for this live stream. So if anyone has questions
It's now.
for Sebastian or related to scorecard, let us know. I think you covered it pretty well. So I think
Okay.
the only thing that I may have as a question, but I will have to maybe you don't have the answer is how can I customize my roles or add more or less roles or
Yeah.
I think that's more like a specific because I think the standard rules covers quite a lot
Quite
already.
a lot. You can probably fork the project and add your own checks. That should work, I
Mm.
guess. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't check, but I'm sure there's a contribution part of the scorecard, and yeah, we can quickly take a look if there's something about the check use cases about part of the get involved score person best practices working. If you want to get involved, ID, we love to connect. Okay. So yeah, pretty standard open source community stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you can run it yourself. Probably. I haven't looked into the. I really been using it as a user. I haven't really dived into the code. And I guess it's Go probably. So that's
Yeah.
also another reason that I didn't dive into it. But I see quite a lot of forks, so I guess you can probably just fork it, and then you go here in your checks. We can look. We can take check how a check looks like. Oh, look, it's Go.
Yeah.
So let's go for the code review.go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I don't see any major questions from the audience, so I think we covered everything. So thanks, Sebastian. You
It was a
oh
pleasure.
wait, there is a question from
Oh, there.
Paul. Let me show you.
Oh,
So right now on the GitHub repository can be scanned. Do you know if there is an interface that can be implemented to scan things like internal Bitbucket servers? Uh, yeah, and here,
yeah. To be honest, I don't know, but I don't. We should try. I don't. If you can paste a Bitbucket repo or uh,
I mean, I think it should
it's
basically scan a Git. Should be
Git.
a
I
Git
hope so. I
compatible.
hope so. I hope so. Yeah. I don't.
Maybe on the requirements, if there is some.
The requirements. You saw the requirements somewhere.
No, I
Uh,
don't see it.
if I type Git,
No, it does use the CLI. Maybe if maybe there's a.
uh, ah. Now I get scorecard, and let me see. Do they say anything about the repo?
Completion serve.
Repo to check. Owner GitHub.
GitHub.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it seems that it's mainly on the GitHub side of the game. I mean,
yeah.
technically, Bitbucket is. I mean, I don't know. It should be a
It
good
should be.
test, to be honest.
It should be a good test. Yeah. I don't
Paul,
have
if you,
any
Paul, if
Bitbucket.
you have if you have a dummy repo that you want to
Yeah.
send this to us, we can test it live to see
Yeah.
if to answer to that question right now.
Bitbucket demo repo. Does that exist? Uh,
Better code, Bitbucket. No.
uh,
No.
no. A demo. No, Bitbucket. That's a GitHub.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, something to try. Okay, and let us know, Paul, if it works or not. But yeah, I'm a bit afraid. I was also surprised by that. And OSSF, they should cover not only GitHub, but yeah, something you have to. And I will also dig into. But yeah, I will start. I probably have some GitLab repo somewhere. I can try it with that. But I'm afraid there's some. I don't
But
know. Yeah.
but it would be interesting to see if either with GitLab, because you mentioned GitLab, it could
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Or
I
yeah,
think
with
I
GitHub.
think yeah, for anyone who liked the solution, yeah, if you want to contribute, build the similar GitHub actions for GitLab, yeah, please just get involved to the project and contribute back. That will be a good way of contributing to the project.
Yeah. No, I don't have any repos left. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right, so I think we are almost to the top of the end of this live stream. So
Yeah.
Sebastian, thanks for going a deep dive on the solution and sharing and spending more time doing the actual demo. So I think it was great. I really like it.
Thank you.
And if anyone wants to reach out to you, where they do?
They can reach out on me on X Blue Sky, and it's always Sebi2706, which is my birth date. Sebi2706 or 6, or on LinkedIn. That's the three main. Or oh yeah, easy one. See, my email. They can email me as well, and my email is, if I type it in the private chat, you can put it
Yep.
somewhere. I'm really proud of this one, because that's the when you join a small company, you can still have emails like sebi@port.io. That's the shortest email I've ever had.
here it is. So I just shared it.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so let's conclude and end this live stream then. So thanks everyone who spent this 56 minutes with us. So if you enjoyed it, please let us know. And if you are watching this content offline, meaning not live, you can still do it. If you have any questions, drop them on LinkedIn
Yeah,
or on YouTube. We try to look at it and answer your questions if you are looking at offline, of course. And if you enjoyed the show, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button and everything. So thanks for joining us today and spending the hour. And I hope to see you for the next CNCF live stream.